Okay, here we are at 82 Maple. Today, October 7th, first day of snow. We had snow covering the ground this morning. Of course, our glorious sun came out, melted it all away, and here we are. And what a great afternoon it is to talk about the little 1953 Ferguson. Did a part one of this prior to taking it in for repairs. And while nothing on the exterior changed, pretty much everything in the interior changed. We had these wheels off and brand new brakes. Brakes, not so important for the reason you might think about slowing this down. We really don't get up all that much speed, but love these independent wheel brakes that came with this. This, if you watch part one, I mentioned it will literally turn on a dime. Can literally put the wheel brake on for that wheel and have it do a complete loop without that wheel moving out of its spot. It is just amazing. That's what gives this little rear wheel drive only unit such great versatility. And in the video extension of our little walk around, you'll see that I'm actually able to work about 2 inches away from some newly painted siding on our house, and I'm doing that with complete comfort, with a heel resting near each of the wheel brakes, so that if for any reason I catch a stone or otherwise and it starts to go one way or the other, I'm 100% in control. Critical when operating the equipment. Then we split the cases right here, and we put in new clutch and bearings. Incidentally, there were new wheel bearings put in. Don't ask me why, but that little transmission case was half oil and half water, and it was still performing admirably. We have no idea how the water got in there. We have no idea how long it was in there. However, we did replace every seal and gasket on this unit, except for the engine. We didn't pull the head or the head gaskets, but brand new oil pan gaskets. We got a newly improved oil pan. The other one was pretty badly dinged up. I think it came from when I was operating it when I was 13 or 14 years old. I caught something and it kind of reared up, turned, and came down on a rock. And my dad pulled the oil pan, welded it, but that was decades ago, and there was some fracturing starting to appear. New starter, new electronics, plugs, coil, all of that stuff. We drained and cleaned the fuel tank that resides under here. Let's go around the other side. I'm sure I'm missing something. Of course, while we had the cases split, we put a new clutch into it. Oh, of course, there's where it is. We put a new exhaust pipe on it. The old one was showing signs of wear. We put new seals on up here. Some of this stuff, it was a little tough to source. So if you had tuned into a video I shot about 6 weeks back, I forget which one it was, but I needed to use the little tractor, and the battery, the tractor's been sitting around since we moved from Langley, and the battery had gone dead. And I came out, it was a warm summer day, like we're talking 75 degrees Fahrenheit, 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And I reached over and grabbed what our mechanic referred to as the Russian ignition key, and gave it one crank and it started up. Hey, the temperature here today is just a few degrees above freezing. Again, there was snow on the ground this morning, so the battery is in great shape, but just gotta see if this thing will crank it up. I'll turn the key on here. I'm gonna get Coral to reach in and pull the choke. We're definitely going to need that today, and let's see what happens. Okay, and Coral held the choke just the requisite amount of time, and we're in business. So I'm going to reach over. My brake is firmly set. We had shown that. That's the parking brake. That little piece just pivots in, and then to set it, we just go like this, And the brake is set. I'm going to put the crank back here. And let's raise this, and we're going to show you a little bit of where old meets new. Now I'm going to shut this off just so we can hear each other. And look at that. Just finished mounting the quick attach. So now we can back up to any implement around here, grab it quickly and easily. If you haven't gotten one of these, or if you haven't used one of these, just a handle on each side, holds a locking mechanism. Pull the handles up, drop the 3-point hitch assembly. It walks out from underneath. Throw the handles back in, back up to any other implement. For example, I'm going to put this blade to work here probably in a little bit, and it's got the quick attach. So there we have it. Super easy, and what a great addition to a tractor that's still running mighty fine. Okay, let's go do some work with it. So now what we're going to do, you can see we've got the tines down, and we're about 4 inches below there. And so now what I'm going to do is take a minute, pull the tines, flip them, and then we're just going to box blade this out. A little bit of handwork to do along the side, pull it into the middle, grab it with the box blade. I just love this box blade here because it has a front cutting edge, but I've also got a back cutting edge, and so I'm actually going to work some of the stuff that I just said about hand digging. I can work it out with that back edge once I lift the tines. So this is just too much fun. So we're closing in on this beast being, oh, what is it, 1953 to okay, that's 50, closing in on being 70 years, and the thing just runs like a top thanks to just a modest amount of work we did earlier this year. Too much fun. Well, here we go. We're putting this little Ferguson to work, and the reason is I jumped onto the new little John Deere 1025 I had, and I was going to put the box blade on, and we'll take a look at my box blade here in a minute, and found that the 3-point hitch arms had been significantly modified to accommodate the flail mower that usually rides on the back of the little 1025. I'm brand new to that 1025. It has 180 hours on it, got it recently, and just hadn't paid attention to the 3-point hitch arms. I've actually never seen ones exactly like the ones that are on there. This job has to get done, so I didn't have time to go into town and get other arms or modify these ones. So I just threw the box blade onto the little gray Ferguson here, and man, it does an amazing job. Mind you, the ground isn't bad to work with, but we've got calcium in the tires, and it's got a good traction. We've got to take this little stretch between the house and the garage down about 8 inches, and so we're getting there, and we'll take a little walk around the back here. So So where the little box blade, you've seen some video with these ripper shanks down. It just did a great job of loosening things up. Way more level, way better finish is going to come out of this than attempting to tackle it with the bucket on either one of our tractors. And the only handicap that I'm fighting and not using the 1025 here is you'll see that the box blade would have just gone to the outside of the rear tires on the 1025. Here I'm inboard a good 8 or 10 inches, and so I can't get in tight as I'd like. So I think what I'm going to end up doing on this, and I'll think about it while I do the next run or two through here with the box blade scooping material out, I'm either going to put the land plane on, and it'll do a pretty good job, but it's still not going to get as tight into the walls as I want, and I will do some of this by hand. But I'm thinking of throwing the original red blade that my dad got with this tractor in 1967. That red blade has been nothing but a lawn ornament for about the past 6 or 7 years, and it's parked down near the barn in just that capacity, a lawn ornament. I'm going to throw a little bit of grease on the connecting joints, and speaking of which, I need to do that on this, and throw that red blade on. And so we'll take, Coral's going to video a pass or two in here with this, and then while she's doing some other things, I'm going to throw the red blade on, and we'll show a couple of minutes of that. Hey, I just love it. That red blade, I had not actually thought of using it for anything around here, but it fits the tractor perfectly. There's no adjustments, and we're going to have some fun. Today is Nostalgia Day at 82 Maple. The fun continues. Hey, it's late in the day and all sorts of things have interrupted us along the way since we finished with the box blade. But here it is. This is the old red blade my dad got in 1967. He brought the tractor home and this blade home. And what he did along the way to modify it is we wanted to do some landscaping, and it's called hardscaping today. And how do you make a blade bite when there's no downforce? Well, my dad put these rails on, and we had, he poured a couple of cement blocks, and about so high, and we would put them on there, and there's some holes here that we can't see clearly, but we'd strap those on, so we had 200 pounds of weight on that blade, and man, we would bite. And then he added these, so he later moved to another town and used this only for snow plowing. So he put these little feet on it to keep him from biting into his wonderful blacktop driveway. He had to reinforce, I don't think that's stock, he had to reinforce this at some point, but that's it. And so here we are. It's old new life into old things, and if I can be doing as well at whatever age that blade in that tractor is, at that age, I'm a lucky, lucky guy. So we're just gonna start it up and I'll finish a little cut here and we'll wrap this. He rode off into the sunset and they all lived happily ever after. Hey, it's late in the day in a September evening and I just had to share this little bit about this 1953 Ferguson. So we're just about done here. Coral's gonna head back and gonna see the nice clean cut that we got. But the thing I want you to notice is not the cut going forward, but I'm gonna go to the bottom of what is about a 17 to 20 degree slope. I'm gonna throw it into reverse and come back up the hill. I swear this thing cannot be cranking more than 950 or 1,000 RPM, and it just doesn't quit. The issue with these 1953 Fergusons was they had a 4-speed transmission. Fourth gear was a road gear. First gear was supposed to be your grunt gear, but it just is a bit too fast. And they came out with a 2-speed box later on, and I could put one in this. But for, I don't know, 50 years, we've compensated by just dropping the throttle into the lowest possible position here on this throttle control. And this thing will just chug at low RPM endlessly. If you're an old Mack truck aficionado, you'll know what I mean. Here we go. This is the lowest I can get the throttle, and just listen to this sweet music. This'll work all day just like this, no engine.